What is up, YouTube? This is my third video in a series of first generation Honda Insight restorations. Why would anyone buy this car? Why would anyone restore it? Well, if you look back a month or two ago, I drove a Buddy's, which actually was blue like this. I just thought this is the most unique car I've driven in a long time, and it really is. And then I found myself on Craigslist and eBay and making lots of phone calls, Facebook Marketplace, because I decided I was going to get one of these. And they can be had very inexpensively, $1,500 to $2,500 in good shape is the price you're going to find one without a working IMA battery. One with a working IMA battery is going to be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, depending on condition and maintenance, and whether or not that battery has a warranty. But I picked this up for the $2,000 range. Battery's dead, needs a number of things, cracked windshield, had a number of issues, which I'm covering in these videos, with the intention of restoring it, of putting some work and time and money into it, and bringing it back to life, because it's just such a neat car. So I've had this 10 days, and today I'm going to talk about a couple things I've done. And if you know this car, right now you can tell what I've done already, because you're not supposed to see that H logo right there, but you can. So I'll get into that in a minute. But update from the last video, I did get my windshield done. So nothing like a new windshield. If you've never had a new windshield on an old car, it's an amazing experience, because you don't realize that there's 1,000 little speckles in front of you from pits, from rocks and sand, until they're gone, and then you realize how clear it is, and you wonder if there's even glass there. So I got that done on Friday, 2 days ago, and so today I got two things done I'm going to talk about, and I have a number of other parts on the way. I have a catalytic converter on the way. I think it's coming from Pluto, because I ordered it like 10 days ago, and it still hasn't even shipped, so not sure what's up with that, but I found that. I've got a motor mount on the way. I've got a IMA battery on the way, which should be about a month, because they're running behind. But I'm doing what I can as soon as the parts come in. So two things I did. Springs on this car, rear springs. So the springs, I'll show you a picture. There's a fellow named Scott K. I forget his last name, but he has a channel called Killer 3 Cylinder. And you can check it out. Scott's an awesome guy. He makes these springs. They're a copy of a Daewoo Matiz spring, and he makes these himself, and he told me he's sold hundreds and hundreds of them to Insight owners, and they're only $100 shipped to you, and that was all the way from California to Georgia. Great guy. The reasoning behind the springs is this car is sort of like a toy. It has these has these seats that look cool, but they're kind of like go-kart seats. They're just not the most supportive. That combined with a horrible rear spring that's rated at, Scott says, 75 to 80 pounds. So the ride in this car is pretty punishing. So these springs help alleviate that. They do raise the height, so normally you wouldn't be able to see the H, but it raised it just an inch or so, and now you can see the H, which I actually think looks cool, because I like these wheels. I think they're cool. So so it took it from the 75, 80 pound spring rate to 115 pound spring rate. And when you drive it, you can notice a difference. It's still firm, but not punishing anymore. So I recommend it. And for $100 shipped, it's literally two 14 millimeter bolts. You jack the car, which takes 10 minutes, and then changing the springs took me like another 10. Super easy. Super easy to install, cheap, and definitely makes a difference for $100. So Scott Springs, he sells those. You can look on his channel, Killer 3 Cylinder, search, you'll find him. Great guy. And the other thing I did was this short shifter, and I learned about this through watching one of the smoking tire videos with Matt Farah, some dude named AJ. Scott had his Matt Farah had his car. It was this Insight, except I think it was gray or silver color. And so he was talking through his mods, and he casually mentioned that he had a short shifter from a 5th gen Prelude. So I went and found his wheel well, and I found a picture of this box and I searched for it, and I bought one. Actually, I bought two, which I'll talk about maybe in another video. The reason I bought a second one is because I actually have a 5th gen Prelude. Maybe you saw some of my restoration videos of him. He actually has an RSX short shifter in there, but I thought, hey, if I can throw that adapter on there, what's up, Fiesta? If I can throw that adapter on there, by the way, it doesn't take much to own all these cars. This was $2,000. This car's worth maybe $12,000 right now. That car was $1,600, and that car was $2,900. So the 3 cars I own that belongs to my kid are collectively worth $15,000-$16,000. So that it's 50 cents a day to insure that, by the way. So where was I? Yeah, so I'm gonna stick this in my Prelude at some point and see what happens. But right now we're working on the Insight. So anyhow, if you're looking for this, these are only like $15 on eBay, and that's shipped. I think they're like $9 plus $6 or $7 shipping. ST08. STS08, I saw both. There doesn't seem to be a difference. 97 to 01 Prelude is what you want, and what it comes with is just a little bit of hardware and this adapter. So anyhow, this is super easy. You take the console out, which is 4 screws and 2 of those little clips, and boom, you fit it in there. And while I was in here, I also just added some lithium grease to all these connections. This is nice and tight. It's self-explanatory. There's only one way it will fit. I'll just zoom in case you're doing this and want some inspiration. This took all of 15 minutes. While I was in here also, I removed these shifter-based bushings just for fun. Like I said, grab some lithium grease if you get this far into the car, and grease everything up. So you just pull these bolts here. They were 12s, I think, and I pulled the shifter-based bushings out and replaced them with just some washers and under here. So that eliminates the slop of this, which maybe you want that, but I just wanted to see what would happen if I did all I could to it, and it worked really well. It's quite nice. So I took a drive and nothing rubs, everything works fine. And yeah, so it's a great mod. And again, this is like $15. So I spent $115 on my car today and have some great improvements. I can't wait to get all this back together now. Like I said, I did drive it, and it drives just fine, but it shortened the throw. I mean, not much. All this does, by the way, is it just raises the lever. So by raising the angle, it shortens the throw just a small amount, maybe 10%, but it's noticeable. And for the money, it's totally worth it. So nothing's rubbing, everything's great. I actually already reassembled that. The only reason it's off now is because I wanted to show you. And so yeah, so that's it. That's where the Insight's at. Next up is a catalytic converter motor mount, and I got some new stickers coming and a few other goodies. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have questions, let me know. Comments, leave them. And God bless you with his peace. Peace the world cannot give. Joy the world can't take away from you. It's what we need. And I pray that you have it as you watch this and experience it. And see you in the next video.